Hi, I'm Roy Aaron Espiritu and welcome to my gratitude channel. Hello, good morning. Is it good morning or good afternoon? But we're here in San Francisco in the Bay Area, Embarcadero, where we are about to embark on a new adventure, riding a boat going to Alcatraz. This is their first time, Aying and Irene's first time. This is your first time in going to Alcatraz. This is not my first time. This is neither Honey's first time, but it's my first time in like 13 years or maybe 15. I lost track of time. But a good thing to share with you, of course, after all these years going back to Alcatraz. Let's go! Am I excited? Of course I am.
Alcatraz Island Dock and adjacent to the lighthouse. Vessels depart Alcatraz Island frequently throughout the day, and you may depart the island on any vessel you wish. Departure times are posted throughout the island. Alcatraz Cruises vessels are required to depart on time.
So we're now lining up for our 12 noon departure. And as you may know, where is Alcatraz? Alcatraz is somewhere in there, 1.25 miles away from this location, from Embarcadero Pier. And Alcatraz is an island somewhere there, which used to be a military prison and also a federal prison from 1934 to 1963, and then now is one of the major tourist destinations here in San Francisco. And today we're gonna check it out. Also a weekend to celebrate Honey's birthday. Right, Honey? Happy birthday. There's Honey. Happy birthday.
We hope that you enjoy your cruise. And thank you for sailing with Alcatraz Cruises. Alcatraz, the most infamous island in the world. Tourists welcome you to Alcatraz Island.
As we near Alcatraz, it definitely has an air of mystery to it that beckons tourists like ourselves, inviting us to unravel it. It was in 2006 when I first visited Alcatraz. I was very new in this country, but something in Alcatraz attracted me to it. Again, it's that air of mystery I'm talking about.
That's why it looks brand new. It was repainted by some of the original occupiers and their descendants. The second thing I want to tell you about it is if you want to know more about it, one, you can of course come talk to me afterwards, that's what I'm here for. But two, you can go and visit the Red Power on Alcatraz exhibit in the new Industries building. That building is open until 3 o'clock. In that building, you'll also find an exhibit on prison labor. All right, so a couple things I need to share with you. There are 2 restrooms on the island. One is right behind you, that little building sitting there on the dock. And the other one is all the way at the top of the island next to the cell house. The cell house is the prison. For some reason, years before I worked here, somebody made signs, they did not consult me, and they put cell house on them instead of prison because apparently that made too much sense. So I use the phrase cell house for clarity because that's what the booklet's in the sign.
In my return to Alcatraz, 15 or 16 years after, I'm just realizing now what that mystery is all about. Alcatraz today stands as a symbol of light, being the first lighthouse built on the West Coast, as a symbol of stronghold, being a former military fort, as a symbol of public security and rehabilitation, being a former federal prison attracting famous prisoners like Al Capone, George Kelly, and Robert Stroud. And of course, as a symbol of indigenous rights. In 1971, Native American Indians occupied Alcatraz for 19 months to protest their people's mistreatment, seek grievances, and reclaim their rights on lands and on their very freedom. Just as the Statue of Liberty symbolizes immigrant roots of this country. Alcatraz stands today as a beacon of indigenous rights. So behind me is the Alcatraz Island Lighthouse, which is the first lighthouse built on the West Coast. It served as the first of the few lighthouses, of course, built after that. It served as, a guiding lamp for, ships and seafarers in the West Coast back then when it was first built. So it really did have a major role when it was first built in June 1st, 1854. by now, go into the ship. And for me, it's an amazing trip back. The whole on the whole island. It was amazing because I did the footwork from beginning to from one point to another, ending up to the prison cells. Did the whole thing, and then went out of the. Where did it went out? Where did it go? To the recreation, and then out to the circle of the island, basically. This is an amazing trip to end this episode. Let's go back to the main island.
And other health needs only. We regret the tram has limited space and cannot transport strollers or families.
It's a real cannon. Look, background. Okay, that concludes the trip to Alcatraz Island. It was a reminiscent of how, I don't know how I remember it, but it was a long time ago. And it's refreshing to know that at one point in the history of America, the American Indians stood their ground to symbolize their fight for freedom and for restoration of their rightful right of this land that, you know, everybody knows they originally owned. Okay, that's it for today. That's the trip.